Israel ordered to immediately halt Rafah offensive by top UN court.
Here's a summary of the article.
The International Court of Justice on Friday ordered Israel to immediately halt its military operations in Rafah, the city in southern Gaza where more than 1 million Palestinians had sought refuge in dire conditions. Israel is unlikely to comply with the order, which the top United Nations court has no power to enforce, but the landmark ruling will pile pressure on the increasingly isolated U.S. ally. Defying mounting international outrage over the humanitarian crisis in the enclave, the Israeli military has pressed ahead with the deadly offensive it launched in the wake of Hamas' October 7 attacks. The ICJ's order follows an urgent plea by South Africa as part of its ongoing case at the court, based in The Hague, Netherlands, accusing Israel of genocidal acts in its months-long assault on Gaza, a charge both Israel and the United States have denied. An Israeli official told NBC News earlier Friday that its government would study the ruling before making decisions, but would not accept a court order to end the war against Hamas. The ICC announcement earned swift condemnation from Israel and from President Joe Biden, who said the outrageous move suggested a false equivalence between Israel and Hamas. The move was met with outrage from Israeli officials, and on Friday Foreign Minister Israel Katz said he had decided to sever connections between the Spanish embassy in Israel and the Palestinians to prohibit the Spanish consulate in Jerusalem from providing services to the Palestinians.
This post received a score of 8,300, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Breaking news: Israel says no.
Saturday. Israel ends Rafah offensive per court order. Sunday. Israel announces new Rafah offensive.
Sunday. Hamas fires rockets from Rafah. Monday. IDF begins new push into Rafah. Condemnation in the strongest possible terms. Rocket misfires and lands in Gaza City, Israel blamed.
This may be a dumb question, but did the UN order Russia to halt its attack?
Yes, and Russia has ignored them.
They've ordered to stop the Rafah operation specifically, even though other cities had a higher casualty toll. That's why this feels political.
From another article, even though Egypt was the one who closed it and refuses to work with Israelis. Kangaroo Court.
That's what's so odd. Casualty counts in Rafah have been minimal. Nearly 1 million people have been evacuated. Bodies of dead hostages have been found. Tunnels to Egypt have been found. IDF incursion has been measured. And this is the operation the UN demands Israel stop? Something is fishy.
I'd like to add the article said forced to flee as opposed to evacuated. The bias is astounding.
It ain't just the reporting that's biased.
Wait, are you all really ready to say the UN is compromised? Is there another explanation? Honestly asking, Hungary doesn't count, that one is obvious.
Compromised suggests there's some nefarious outside influence at work. The reality is that the UN is just a bunch of people. Those people come from different cultures all over the world. And a lot of those cultures just don't like Jews. So when you put all those cultures together and have them vote on things or draft language or put together aid groups, each of those carries with them the inherent bias of the underlying cultures being represented. In other words, this bias is a feature, not a bug.
I just hope all this madness ends soon.
It won't. We're just in the beginning.
Greater than the ICJ also ordered Israel to open the Rafah border crossing with Egypt for the entry of humanitarian aid at scale. So the ICJ ordered Israel to stop attacking Rafah, which has had much lower civilian casualties than other cities which they are not ordering Israel to stop attacking, and instead demanding that Israel invade Egypt so as to open a crossing that Egypt has closed? Okay then.
Functionally, the ICJ is asking Israel to hand the border crossing at Rafah back to Hamas, and Egypt is messaging that they will only open their side of the border crossing if Hamas has control over it, not Israel.
Just the fact that the head judge, Nawaf Salam, has repeatedly over the years expressed his disdain for Israel and yet didn't recuse himself from this case, demonstrates how worthless this ruling is.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes. and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.